Hello, this is my literacy autobiography. This is about my life as being literate in reading and writing and how it had affected my lifetime. One of the quotes I chose was balance between print and meaning, and balance between reading the word and the world. I chose this because I find that we need to find meaning in what we read and meaning in what we write. And whether it is understanding the exact words or whether it is being part of the world, literacy is always going to be in our lives. And this was a quote from our books. And then in first grade, I went back in my memories, and I remember Dick and Jane books. And then don't remember anything between other than Dr. Seuss, but one of the books that stood out in fifth grade was The Boxcar Children, because my fifth grade teacher read to us as a group, and I enjoyed the stories that she read about them. And interesting. Then in high school, in 10th grade, I had to write a book about Alexander Graham Bell. And I just remember writing that paper. It had to be 8 pages. I revised it and rewrote it so many times. I think I left in tears, but I did it. And I think I became a better writer from it. That's one of the writing skills or one of the writing homeworks that kind of sticks out in my head. As a mom and a daughter and now a grandmother, I can remember reading books to my children, and now I read books to my grandsons. I don't ever remember my mom reading to us or telling us how important it is to read, but I do stress it a lot in my life now with students, with my family, with my grandson. So always reading some kind of stories, and some of those I posted were some of my favorites. So Clifford's and Author and D.W. and The Bear with Eric Carle. And then since comprehension is dependent on the interplay of 3 factors, the reader, the text, and the context, I chose that because comprehension skills were not my favorite, and I did not have them easily. I still struggle, but not as much. And because I read more in my 30s, Nora Roberts was the one that I started with, Carolina Moon, and then went from there. And now I read as much as I can with different authors now. I read most of her books in my 30s, and then I had the opportunity to meet her in person. And she was a delight, and she has a bookstore in Boonesboro, Maryland, and I read a lot of her books, and I got some of the books signed for my sister and I, because she's the one that introduced me to her. And I believe the next slide will, show you my picture with her, and places in Boonesboro that I went to, and downtown, and some of the trilogies that she has written have been great. I love the trilogies that she writes, and I enjoy them a lot. I enjoy her stories. They take me to places that I've never been, and I really immerse myself now as a reader, and I learn so much. And then in my 40s, I went back to college, and I graduated and did more reading and writing than I ever did before prior to that. And I got the bachelor's in elementary ed and American studies. Even though I'm not an elementary education teacher, I did move on to become an adult education teacher. And that is what I do now. And I work at the local library and in Millville, New Jersey. And some of the books that we deal with, I deal more with math than any of the other subjects because it seems to be the toughest, and I enjoy that more than any of them. So those are some of the books here that we use in class. And my classroom is in the basement of the library, which had a lot of books for the book sale. So I always encourage students to grab books and to read them, and to read as much as they can, and to write. And then last summer, I went back for the educational technology certification, and it was 9 credits in 6 weeks, and I passed it. I did it. I learned a lot from it. I still need tweaking in the technology world, but I am trying my hardest, and I still find it very difficult with technology, but I do overcome some of the things. And now I'm with Rutgers University, and I'm trying to get 12 credits in the Adult Ed ESL certification program. And I'm learning a lot from this summer, and doing so much better than last summer. So it has been a pleasure to take both these classes this summer and learn so much. So I am always trying to improve my skills, and I am always trying to learn more. So this is